So I just got back from an appointment that, was just a little bit frustrating for me. So forgive me because I'm a little bit frazzled. So let's talk about something that's really important to me, which is why your story matters. 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago, I went through the most painful breakup I had ever experienced. That jump-started the steps that I needed to take to get into therapy and work on my self-improvement and work on my mental health. And that led me to here, where I am talking to you about those things and talking to you about how I've learned how to improve and how I've learned how to take care of my mental health. So my point is, you wouldn't be listening to me. You wouldn't be hearing me talk about this self-improvement stuff and learning from me and learning from my experiences if those things didn't happen. If those didn't happen, and if I don't talk about those things, other people aren't going to get the opportunity to be able to understand where I came from and also relate to me on certain topics to be able to improve upon themselves. So my point is, ultimately, you may think that your story or what your life looks like isn't really that important or isn't really that fascinating. And that's something that I do struggle with, is I don't feel like I have knowledge that is necessary or worth giving to people. It's called the curse of knowledge. You just feel like the knowledge and information you have is just common sense, which it might be common sense to you, but not to somebody else. I've been rambling. Let's back up a little bit. 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago, I went through the most painful breakup I had ever experienced. From there, I had gone to therapy. I had started going to therapy. I was an angry person. I was never angry at my significant others. I was never angry at other people. It was always at me. It was always at the situation that I was in. So I would get loud and I would get big and scary in order to feel safe from outside sources that were causing me to feel angry. Fast forward to now, where I learned in therapy that my anger was actually a secondary emotion to my fear and anxiety. It was something that I hadn't come to that realization. The issues that I was dealing with, I was able to start tying fear and anxiety to much more than what I had thought was fear and anxiety. So fast forward to now, to today. After learning that, after taking the time to understand myself and my anxiety and my fears, I don't get as angry anymore. Why am I sharing this with you? Because it may not resonate with you personally, but it will resonate with someone. Somebody out there, out of the 8 billion people on this planet, will understand. They will either be actively experiencing the issue that I was dealing with, or they have already experienced it and they've moved past it even further than I am. They're further along than I am. The key thing that I really want to talk to you about, you may feel like your experiences, your knowledge, and your story may not matter in the grand scheme of things. Starting a YouTube channel, having access to the internet or to social media, being able to reach thousands, millions, billions of people, you're able to find like-minded people. Those like-minded people may need to hear your story. Some of those people, specifically like the younger generation, that's why I create these YouTube channels, is for these 18 to 25-year-olds who have no idea what life is like, who have no idea what they're gonna do after they get out of high school or after they get out of college. They don't understand that yet that adulting is as hard as it is. They haven't experienced the things that some of us have. And I'm not that much older. I'm not going to say that I've experienced everything that life has to offer. But what I am saying is that over the course of almost 4 years, I have learned so much information and attained so much knowledge that I wish I had even 3 years ago when I started learning these things. My purpose for creating this self-improvement and motivational piece to my YouTube channel, to my content, is to share with you and to share with those 18 to 25-year-olds my story, my experiences, so they have something to relate to. Because there are people out there who feel no one understands them, who feel like they're going through something that no one could possibly understand, and that drags someone down, that hurts people. And this doesn't just apply to going through a breakup or going through a hard time. This also applies to when you're learning something. There are millions of people out there who have done exactly what I'm doing, and they're at a point where I strive to be at. But I wouldn't know that if they didn't share their story. Your story matters for a few reasons. Let me grab my notebook real quick. I just kicked my... Ow! I just kicked my chest. Not this... I have a chest. I have a tote. Anyway, so there are a lot of reasons why telling your story, whether it's on YouTube or a blog or on social media, can matter. You're reaching people across the world who might relate to you. It doesn't matter what you're talking about. Believe it or not, there's knowledge that you have. There is the statement that there is always someone who knows more, that there is always someone who's better at the thing that you're doing. The thing that's kept me going, and the thing that has helped me understand myself a little bit more, there may be someone who knows more than me. There may be someone who is doing better at these things than I am. But there's also always someone who knows less. And on the other side of that, because there's always somebody who knows more, there's always more for you to learn. Hitting my notebook here, reasons for you to share your story is so these people, the younger generation specifically, but people who are actively dealing with the things that you've experienced, they need hope. Hope can be an entirely different subject that I'll probably talk about in another video. But some people need proof. Proof that the other side exists. Proof that the progress that they're making will pay off eventually. Ultimately, it gets better. Those things can mean the world to someone. Sometimes it'll help. Sometimes it won't. If I went back and talked to me from 3 years ago and said, believe it or not, it's gonna be better, and you're gonna look like me, and you're gonna be me in 3 years, that idiot would say, dude, that's way too long. No shot. If that person saw me today and knew what I had been through, knew what I had gone through, and knew how that I made the progress that I made, even if I wouldn't have really believed that it was gonna take that long, and I wasn't happy that it was gonna take that long, knowing that it will end, knowing that those things will get better, knowing that I will learn more and know more, would have at least given me a little bit of hope, a little bit more hope than what I had. Out of the 8 billion people on this planet, there are like-minded individuals. There are people who think the same as you. There are people who feel the way you feel. And those people, those kids, could really use your story as fuel for the hope that they're missing out on. Thank you guys for listening to me rant. If you guys would like to listen to me rant live, you can go check me out on Twitch. I stream me playing games the completely wrong way. That's just another way for me to be relatable, is by sharing about my gaming life. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Have a good one.